Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Deontay Wilder's life seems to be going from sort of bad to worse because his partner, a lady by the name of TELLI SWIFT, Telli, not to be confused with Taylor Swift, of course, as if anyone would. She's taken out a restraining order against Wilder, citing domestic violence. He's not allowed to go within 100 yards of her or their daughter. They have a young daughter. She's accused him of choking her at least 5 times, in inverted commas, at least 5 times since 2018. And she also claimed he spat on her and that he's almost suffocated her on occasions. And he's also, gained access to a laptop, and it's not just physical, it's emotional. He's ridiculing her and threatening her and insisting they have sex multiple times a day, all this sort of stuff. Now, look, if you put your hands on a woman, as far as I'm concerned, unless she's actually trying to kill you, she's pointing a gun at you or trying to stab you with a knife, then you belong in prison. If you're the type of woman that will accuse a man of doing things that he hasn't done, raping you and so on, you belong in prison. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not making judgments on this. It will, of course, come out in court, I presume. There'll be some sort of court, in some sort of investigation and subsequent court date. So I'm not judging her, him. I'm not. That's not the point. The point of this video is that this was taken out, this restraining order, 2 days after his knockout to Zhilei Zhang, to Wilder's knockout to Zhilei Zhang. But let's be honest here. This was going on, and at least according to the accusations, has been going on for a long, long time before that. So we have to ask, is this one of the reasons, possibly a main reason, possibly even the main reason why Wilder has looked so awful in his last 2 fights? Is this a case of him having spent the last few years unravelling mentally, and there's just too much going on outside the ring? And did the defeats to Tyson Fury destroy his ego, and therefore mentally he's unraveling because his ego just can't, that narcissistic element just can't take the fact that he's now been reduced to what he's been reduced to. When you hang your entire identity on something, and in this case with Wilder, it was being this absolute killer who could smash through anyone with that right hand, and then suddenly it's disproven and it's taken away from you. There's a huge gaping gap in your ego, and the size you could drive a truck through, and of course that can lead to all sorts of meltdowns, mental problems, and so on. I can't see how this hasn't had an effect on Wilder, a very, very negative effect, this whole out of the ring stuff. Emmanuel Stewart once said, the one thing I've learned with fighters is never get between them and any woman, because when you start getting involved in that sort of thing, then you're going to lose the fighter's ear. You're going to lose their trust and so on. Let them make their own mistakes, in other words. Let them go through what they're going through. It's their business. But I do think it's a shame that, well, obviously it's more importantly than boxing, it's a shame because Wilder and his partner or former partner, whatever she is, they've got a little kid. Terrible business. Wilder was married previously. You know the story, I'm sure, about him becoming a professional boxer to care for his daughter, to make money to look after his daughter, who was born with spina bifida. Him and his wife were married for about 8 years, I think. And then they divorced, and I don't know whether he got with this TELLI SWIFT beforehand. Miss Swift, by the way, I'd never heard of her. So I did what we all do. I went to Google, had a look. She's one of these internet people, I don't know, Instagram, OnlyFans, all that lot. I just lump them all together. They're all, one of these are influencers. Can't get over that word. What did you do today? Oh, I spent all day influencing. Did you? Yeah. God, you should have seen me. I was influencing all over the place. So she's one of these internet things, people, whatever. And Wilder, I'm not knocking her. She's doing her thing. From the pictures I saw, there's a lot of plastic in there. There's a lot of surgery gone on, and you know what I'm saying. But hey, they got a kid. It's such a shame when this sort of thing happens. And Wilder at his age, I mean, he's pushing 39, is he? 38, 39. It's very difficult to come back from bad defeats in a boxing ring. It's also very difficult to come back from when you get to this point with the mother of your kids. I don't know what his relationship is like with him and his ex-wife, but with Miss Swift, it appears to be ending very acrimoniously, which is a shame. But anyway, I would say the out of the ring activities always affect what goes on in the ring, or usually, maybe not always. Sometimes the ring is the sanctuary for a fighter. They've got chaos going on outside, but they get in that ring and suddenly it's like being in their living room. So I wouldn't generalize too much, but I think in this case it almost certainly had a very negative effect on Wilder and his career. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, if you've got any comments, leave them below. And if you've got any opinions, give them to me. What do you think of fighters? And what do you think of fighters whose identity is defined by who they are in the ring, and then when that leaves? It's always interesting to see how fighters deal with that. What's your opinion on that? I'm always interested in the psychology of what goes on with fighters. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you don't mind, that'd be great. Takes a second, costs you nothing, and also hit the like button as well, because that helps us as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for your time, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.